almost coffin-like in its appearance, as it's standing at a bit of an angle. It seems to be propped up. It's ornate looking. It is covered in runes. And it too is made out of this formed obsidian.
Do the runes look familiar, understandable?
You can get glimpses of them from where you're at the fountain, but you would have to get closer to make an investigation.
Okay. Then we will make our way to get closer.
So you approach the gazebo.
So I do.
That's initiative. Nope.
Can we please remember I'm a squishy mage?
It's okay. It doesn't matter. You have to fight the gazebo alone.
No, thank you.
There's your Munchkin reference for the night. But go ahead and roll investigation.
Well, Scotty, now you want to do a thing.
Oh yeah, these runes caught your eye, even from the distance that they were, because they seem to have this reddened crystal inlaid in them. So it's almost this extravagant looking coffin, but more so it almost looks like an ornate sarcophagus of blackened obsidian and what you can only imagine to be ruby inlay. And it's kind of scattered about the ring of this propped up sarcophagus are petals of a flower that look very familiar to you, in that they match the flower that you had woken up with a little over a week ago. There's a noticeable shift in air temperature from behind you, as though there's almost this kind of wave of heat that kind of passes by you and almost stands the hairs in the back of your neck up, as this voice that you belonging to no one you would put a face to. It's amused, it seems, to itself. Just, well, looks like you finally made it. I had been slightly curious if you were going to arrive tonight or not.
Well, I was invited, wasn't I?
Well, yes, but there was always the option for you to decline the invitation.
I've been headed this way, so to say, for a long time.
Now, you've been given many opportunities to change your mind. I can't say that I'm disappointed that you've made it this far.
So I take it you're the one who's been calling me?
Well, it would seem to me that you were calling out to me.
That's true, yes.
So, your curiosity brought you this far, hopes, desires, what have you, and yet you still face away. Has the courage left you, or is the curiosity not as strong as it would have been imagined?
She won't answer, but she'll slowly turn to face the voice.
The voice is coming from a man who is surprisingly large to your frame, standing nicely over 6.5 feet tall. He himself seems to be almost statue-like in the way that his body is formed. He wears an open coat made out of deep leather, has red etching scribed onto parts of his exposed flesh, and what meets your gaze is a pair of eyes, the color of which is a molten bronze. And you can swear that you see firelight dancing within them. But that might be a trick of the light, or just the ember-like color of his hair. He grins down at you. Well, it's good to meet you face to face, then.
Scotty's not used to meeting people.
How do I people?
Yeah, pretty much. Blushing, she'll kind of turn her eyes down, lacing her hands together behind her. It's nice to meet you as well.
Well, you've had yourself quite a hike. Come, sit. And he'll kind of drift back to the fountain and kind of sit down
She'll
along its edge.
glance back at the runes she had been investigating, but only hesitate for a second before she follows.
So tell me, now that you are here, what is it that you are truly seeking?
That's a difficult question to answer.
Well, most important ones are.
Just saying that a lot of things have happened since the first time the vision. I wanted to have what I had lost. Direction. A mentor of sorts. To not feel lost and at open seas, so to say. But that was not the entirety of my reasons. I was also motivated by the desire to avenge what had forced me into the position to have lost everything.
Vengeance is a powerful motivator. This is true. Well, You seek direction, and, well, I'm certainly in a position to give a guiding hand. You faced a fair bit to get here. As I'm to understand, had all the opportunities and even a little bit of help trying to dissuade you. And yet here you remain before me.
There sounds to be another bit to this.
Oh, there's always more. Power comes not freely. It has its own responsibilities, obligations.
I understand that.
If you're willing to accept these tasks, I can certainly, well, I'm sure that we'll get along just fine.
Tasks?
Tasks. You have interesting companions, and I imagine your goals outside of coming to stand to my side, I imagine those haven't changed much.
The goals to free the valley?
Are those your goals?
That's the goals of the people I care about. And I think that those goals might align with my finding who set fire to Ulta. So, those are my goals.
Fortunate that I'm interested in